Name is Jason Goldberg, solution architect with Device 42. Device 42 is a discovery solution for IT across all environments, whether that's cloud, on-prem infrastructure, or virtualization, fitting many use cases. And I help enterprises use Device 42 to solve their demands, whether that is discovering infrastructure for auditing purposes or bring their IT, their application groups, their DevOps really to a place where all that information is uniquely available in however those groups may need it, whether that is their physical infrastructure through to the cloud and container rise systems that might be supporting their applications. The biggest challenges large federated IT estates are experiencing is the DevOps and service delivery groups have many organizations within them, larger layers between them where they're becoming siloed and level of understanding is constantly expanding. These groups may be more disconnected from the customer than they would have traditionally, especially in technology in general. And that information and knowledge within these varying groups is expanding wildly with new technologies constantly being developed and new demands constantly being created. IT Federation has caused that these groups are even more disconnected now. DevOps is going to include multiple groups and multiple operations and roles, as well as service delivery, where these silos are becoming broader and wider, and many of them aren't going to connect. Their key goals of service delivery is making sure that we're understanding the customer needs and requirements and driving and understanding to the DevOps and IT groups that are going to be supporting development of that product and the infrastructure that's going to be supporting and operating on it. The most important goals for a DevOps organization is creating automation that helps them with speed and delivery of code to the end product and the customer base, as well as supporting their least amount of time on IT and infrastructure and more time spent with interesting new developments and expanding their product and evolution of that. DevOps is internally focused often because there is a date set and timelines and a roadmap that they are trying to produce and provide that's been requested from service delivery, who is external facing and interacting directly with the customer that is creating the demand and the needs for that roadmap. Service delivery and DevOps, they are not aligned because they somewhat have different masters. The service delivery is going to be talking directly to the customer, and DevOps is going to be working from different scrums and incidents that come up that are driving what their requests are and what they're going to be building. And that's going to have gone through a few layers before it reaches them. Well, it requires that now DevOps needs to understand the amount of infrastructure and the amount of resources they're going to need for their automation and their speed in order to produce varying products. And then service delivery needs to understand DevOps, what they're creating and the demands and the infrastructure to support that, and how is that going to fit in customer needs. Yeah, when we see DevOps and service delivery go wrong, it's really because there is no communication across them. There is a need from a customer that's being given to service delivery. Those requests from service delivery are being given to DevOps, which may have a limited understanding of that, and they're going to perceive that in different ways at each of these stages. The key to effective DevOps and service delivery is proactively engaging with the customer to understand their needs and drive an outcome that supports all groups. When you think about the dance of DevOps and service delivery, they, like a dance, are both moving together. DevOps at some point might have to lift service delivery, and another time service delivery is going to have to catch DevOps. And there's always going to be a play and fundamental need for both groups to catch each other and to constantly be moving. Service delivery and DevOps are thinking about infrastructure in a way that service delivery wants to just make sure it's there to support the customer. It's going to have a good quality product and their customers are going to be happy. And DevOps is looking to have the infrastructure support the evolution of their code, allow them to drive more unique and engaging aspects in the product that they couldn't have done in the past, and making sure that is continuously growing. So I think what's important about this conversation and what's not maybe being stated is that we need to really educate DevOps and service delivery on the technologies available to them, and making sure that our understanding is constantly expanding on how it's operating today, as well as how it should be operating in the future. And there's going to be constantly new resources that are becoming into the scope of DevOps and service delivery that are going to have a new understanding on how we should be operating as well. And that needs to fundamentally be shared across groups. What's critical to getting them on the same page is there should be advocates in both groups on service delivery and DevOps that are really holding the mantle for communication across groups, for really sharing information and removing those silos, and also interfacing with the customers throughout those groups and making sure there's an understanding of those fundamental goals. Automation would allow DevOps and service delivery to have a broader understanding and the need of infrastructure to be managed and maintained manually, where these requests against infrastructure could be load balanced and moved to other resources intelligently rather than being user defined. And this would allow more time for understanding the fundamental goals of what the IT is delivering, what service delivery and DevOps are producing, rather than managing the IT infrastructure state. To fundamentally build more ambient experiences, we need to think about the experience of engaging with an application outside of it just being a website or being a specific function. If you think of something like Uber or Amazon, they know when you ask for a car, when you get in the car, when you get off, and when to give you a prompt to notify how is your experience. And they track each of those things to better improve the end user and customer experience within that service. I think a great digital ambient experience is, of course, Google. It's so widely known. It just exists in everything, where it's tracking where you are, what you use, what you buy, what you like, that all unfolds into all their various products. From your experience of on a day-to-day working basis in using Gmail and just browsing the web, to when you go home and you start shopping or looking at TV and information that's relevant to you, you're going to get news and articles that are all fit to whatever happened in the hours prior to that. Yeah, to make an experience like that work, automation is absolutely critical. The infrastructure that is required to support that is vast, and managing that is not possible with just a IT alone. It's going to have to be an understanding across DevOps and service delivery to use products like Kubernetes or cloud that are going to be auto scaling and help to maintain and ease the burden of managing that infrastructure, as well as give you a platform where you can quickly and with stability update, modify that product, grow it, and have a good interface from the customer demands to service delivery to the product development. I think the most important point to take away of the conversation is really building advocacy across groups, starting from a customer service delivery and DevOps, that there needs to be that fundamental understanding. They do need to dance together and make sure that what each group is operating towards is going to go back to fit that customer need where it was originally sourced from. My favorite thing about my job is really seeing how customers uniquely solve problems that they face across their infrastructure, what that is demanding of them, and driving a product that helps to support that, and continuously growing that to do new and interesting things all the time.